Okay, hello everybody, and today we are playing the Terminator on the Mega Drive. So I am just going to go straight into this, and let's see how we get on. So I guess you all know the story of the Terminator, but here's a quick recap anyway. The year is 2029, the world has been blown to bits by machines, and the human resistance is sending someone back through time to try and save the one person who can stop it all. And here we go. Now this is a good game, but it's actually a very short game. You can probably clear it in about 20 minutes or so if you know what you're doing. And let's see if I still know what I'm doing. So we just keep throwing grenades at this HK, Hunter Killer as it's known in the movies. And eventually it will explode, and now we just run for cover. These little bombs drop, but best just to avoid them. Keep running. Oh, watch out for little parachute bombs. I'll take some damage there, but it's okay because we're almost clear. And down the tunnel, and there's our gun, and things are going to get much easier from here. And here's a series of Terminators. Kind of different change of pace from most games, whereas you are basically blowing away a version of the last boss consistently throughout the first level. And then of course we go back in time and there's just the one Terminator. Use your time bombs to open up the doors. And over here, oh, there's nothing there except some extra bombs and the chance to shoot some more Terminators. Now over here, a little mini boss. Just machine gun him, turn around and shoot Terminators occasionally. And there we go. Now if you're lucky, sometimes these Terminators will drop some health, but they seem to be a bit stingy at the moment. So we'll just press on, and there's a little bit of health finally. Good music in this game for a, you know, pretty straightforward movie tie-in game. A bit of work went into this. It is a bit short, but apart from that, it's well put together, decent little platformer. Now, you want to make sure you clear the path completely here, because once you plant this bomb, you only have 45 seconds to escape the level. So here we go. And we need to get up that staircase over there in order to get out. Shouldn't be too difficult. Just need to be careful. Keep firing a little bit ahead of yourself because sometimes Terminators will just pop out in front of you. And up the ladder. And ignore these guys. And through the tunnel. And we are now heading back to 1984. So this picks up basically where the movie started. So Kyle Reese has just been sent back through time. And his mission is to track down Sarah Connor. And as luck would have it, he just happens to find clothes and a shotgun. Now, this level is more difficult because although you're no longer shooting Terminators, these police cannot be killed. They will just keep respawning. All you can do is take them down for about 10 seconds and run past them. Not so much of an issue in this level, but it becomes a lot more difficult later on. Again, quite atmospheric music in this section, so that's always good. Nice little animation of jumping over the garbage bin there. And we're now on to the second section. More of the same really, just keep moving forward and taking out the cops, and as you see there, he popped back up rather quickly. So you want to keep going ahead and just trying to keep out their way. Again, pretty simple game, but fun and inoffensive. Oh, Molotov man just dropped in behind me there. Need to be careful of that. Of course, all of these guys throw bombs at the same arc, so as long as you get close enough to them, it doesn't really matter. Now we want to get up this ladder. And up here, and this will take us over towards the end of the section. And of course we're now in Tech Noir, where if you remember from the film, this is where you first encounter the Terminator. So sort of a mini boss battle here. And there he is. Now unlike conventional enemies, you've got to shoot the Terminator I think 3 times before he stays down and can actually be walked past. Now run past him. And keep running, and there's Sarah Connor, and we have cleared the second mission. So we're now basically halfway through the game. A little bit of exposition here. Reese explaining to Sarah what the deal is, and at this point, of course, in the film, she thinks he's crazy and doesn't believe a word of it, but she soon will. Pretty decent cutscenes for Mega Drive standards here as well. And this is setting the scene for level 3, which is the police station. You have got to move from the cells as Kyle Reese and get to Sarah, who's hiding in the detective's office. Quite a tricky level, this one, if you're not on your guard. A number of staircases to navigate, which with respawning enemies makes it quite tricky. So we're not actually on a timer here, but the game implies that you have to get to Sarah before the Terminator does, but you know, he's not actually going to get there until we do, because that's how video games work. That's when you can have a problem, when 2 of those guys or more materialize at the same time. Up here. Keep going. Very linear, this game, but sometimes that's not a bad thing. And up here. Again, you'll notice that I'm crouching as I'm shooting, because if the enemy does get a shot off, hopefully it will just fly over your head. Up here. It's too bad that the developers of this game didn't get to work on the Terminator 2 platformer, because that game is basically unplayable. Absolutely awful. Safe to say we won't be doing a playthrough of that one on the channel. Now this is just slightly difficult because you've got to take down people from 2 angles there, but keep going. Good thing about the Mega Drive is you're only ever going to get enemies from left and right. There were no 3D graphics at this time on home consoles. And our buddy the Terminator is back for round 2. But so are the police, so you got to watch this out. Now I want to move back here Just run through. That's the hard part over. If you're very unlucky, a bad guy might spawn on that staircase, in which case you're done. Sometimes that can happen as well. Oh, very low on health here. Hopefully not too many more bad guys. And there's Sarah, and we are clear. Just. And now we get to fight the Terminator in his final form, the famous endoskeleton. One of the all-time iconic movie monsters, this one, the endoskeleton. People forget Terminator degenerated into kind of pointless action movies, but the first movie is a straight-up horror film, and I will not be told otherwise. And when that exoskeleton first emerges and goes after you, yeah, it was a scary moment in cinema. And it's still held up pretty well. So you want to go up the ladders here, and if you're lucky, the Terminator will just go past you. If you're unlucky, he'll just hover up there like an idiot. But what you can do is get him to spawn over there, give you a bit of space to go forward, but let off too many shots and he ends up in his small damaged form, which is a lot harder to get past. So there, managed to wriggle past him. Now what we want to do here is try and keep the Terminator behind us as we move through the level. As long as he's behind us, he can't suddenly spawn in front of us. Like that. Whoops. Now we just go along here and up this ladder. Now the Terminator should drop down just in front of us here, yes. Keep going along, make sure you don't run into him. Down the ladder, and there he is. And we'll go through the crusher and he will follow us. And the game is complete. Of course, we all know in the movie, sadly, Kyle doesn't make it, but we can pretend that he does for the sake of this game. The storm is coming. Another great iconic shot from cinema there. Very well digitized on the Mega Drive. And that is the Terminator. As I say, you know, a game you can run through in about 15-20 minutes, but decent enough. One of the few games that I was able to rent and beat on the same weekend. So, didn't get many of those back in the day. As I mentioned on previous videos, difficulty was a bit of an issue for early Mega Drive games. But the Terminator is one of those games that is not particularly difficult once you get the hang of it. And of course Arnie will be back, as will I in the next show. Thank you for watching.